169. What happens when a war is not won with shalom? Okay. It's WON, people. 169 is not 1 as opposed to 2. It's 1 as opposed to lost. What happens when a war is not won with shalom?
It's thing because you have 2.
The war is never over. It's the whole history of Europe. Imagine fighting 100 years war. 100 years war. 100 years. How many soldiers do you have to die? Huh?
They were bored.
I don't hear you.
They were bored.
They were born and they're bored. They were crazy. 100 years war. 100 years war. How do you fight for 100 years? How do you fight for 100 years? The answer is you don't fight for 100 years. You just never lose. Well, you have ceasefire and shmis fire and pififi fire and all this stuff and shmechi fires. You stop, and you start, you stop, and you start. A ceasefire means we're still fighting, but I'm just getting a chance to rearm. What kind of war is that? The war never ends. And that's, of course, the situation that Israel has put itself in. Not it finds itself in, it's put itself in. Not a single war was ever won. We won every single war, and the Arabs went around and say we won. Why? They got bludgeoned and beaten and saklapt and sabaylt, yeah? But we're still here. Look at me, I'm still alive. I got cuts and bruises and but I'm alive. So they won. So when you have a war that's not won, but derech shalom, you really haven't won the war. Because winning a war means that you're not going to fight again. And when you fight a war on equal footing, and one side is at a disadvantage, so it retreats or it gives up something or they make some kind of temporary compromise, they're simply saying, till tomorrow! And we're going to fight again. The war's never over. What example did I use? I used the example of Europe. That 100 years war, a 30 years war, a 7 years Amachaya. And now these great, wonderful Europeans are teaching the whole world about love and peace. And their brilliant idiocy, or the idiotic brilliance.
What's the 100 years war?
I don't know. Look it up and then Google it. Go to Beis Rivka, Google it. There was a war in Europe for 100 years, between two countries.
It was between Britain and France.
You think?
I think that was 90. No?
That was what?
13 I think there was probably
100 years, there's so many wars. Some countries in Europe finally got smart. Switzerland made themselves neutral. Finished. We don't get involved. Finished a long time ago. Because Europe they were just killing each other. Killing. And they were fighting over money, over wealth. And they blame it on the church. What they will not do. Huh? England and France. 100 years war. 100 years war. What's the pshat? The pshat is there was nobody won. So you keep trying, and who are you sending to die? Not the princes and the dukes and the kings, the peasants, Nebuch.
It was over 100 years.
Of course, it was over 100 years.
1337 or 1450.
Achei. It was over 100 years. Verstehst? Okay, and during that time, they went together to kill Jews in the Crusades. That was no problem. One doesn't do the other. Next.